Well, we're out here in the boat, boys and girls, and we're trolling. Trolling setup. Had a bunch of people ask what I have for a trolling setup and how I rig everything up in this small boat, so I'll kind of just go over it real quick, and I'll link everything in the description for you guys to check out if you want to buy it for yourself. But in Maine, we can have 2 rods out, so Cody's got 2 over here. We got I got these Scotty rod holders that you can plug 3 different rod holders into, and we usually run like lead core off of those. He's got a lead core here. On this side we got 2 more lead core. One is just a straight line, and the other one here with the yellow line is going out to a planer board, and I'll show you that in a minute. This one is some contraption that I built. These Down East rod holders are actually made right here in Maine. They work alright. This is just a fly rod that I built. You guys have probably seen the video of the handle extension that I made for this thing, but I run that right in the center of the boat, and I have it kind of off to the side here so it's out of the way of these lines. The other thing I got is Downrigger release plates. So you can see the one over here, and you basically just slide the downrigger right on, and you can screw it onto the plate, and it's easily removable for when you don't need the downriggers on the back. You want a bass fish or whatever, and they're not in the way. These are on a rotating plate, so you just pull this, you can spin the downrigger around whatever you want. I kind of built this myself out of a piece of decking, and I'll link this release plate and the pivot plate so you guys can find those. They're super handy. You can kind of move the downrigger around instead of having it stationary. So today we're not really using downriggers just because this lake is fairly shallow, and we can get down to where we need to be with lead core, and it's just easy. But we did bring one downrigger just in case we want to troll the deeper spot here. So I'm not going to show you guys how really to use a downrigger because you can find hundreds of videos on that, but I will show you and recommend the releases that we use, which are, this will focus, the Chamberlain downrigger releases. And this is the one that clips in line with your ball and braided line. They do have a stackable version of this also, so you can stack rods on the same line that just clip onto your braided cable here. But I have this one right here, right above the ball, and these are actually made right in Vermont, I believe. So you have 2 places to adjust this, and this is why this is such a great downrigger, especially for Maine, and if you're going for like brook trout or smaller fish. You can set this to a feather light release, and you use this knob right here on the back. This knob up here adjusts the tension that holds this clip from coming in and out, and that's just when you pop your rod out of the clip if you need to, you know, when you're done fishing or want to pull the ball or the rod up or check your lure. But this knob here adjusts this motion, so your line will be coming down to this point and going out this way. Now you can loosen this up really light, so even the lightest bite releases that, the line comes out. Other models that I've used don't have this. It basically just looks like this. So all of your adjustment is in this one knob, so if you adjust it really tight to get a little bit of a bend in your rod, that means that fish has to really hit your lure or be a heavier fish to pop that release. But with these Chamberlain releases, you can set this knob to a really light setting, so you can still have it tight and have your rod bent over, but a smaller fish or a light bite will pop that line off real easy. Line going straight up now is hooked to my rod, and the line going back this way is the lure. So I can pull pretty hard straight up because I have that tension set pretty tight, and it's not popping that off. It's going to take a good snap of the rod to pop that off. Now when a smaller fish takes this, I have this set pretty light, it'll release that clip with no problem. I barely pulled that, so that kind of just demonstrates the feather light release there. I get mine through northeasttroller.com. I'll link them in the description below, and you can find these, and highly recommend trying them if you have not. Everybody kind of has their own preference for releases, but I've been using these now for a few years, and definitely the best ones out there that I've used. Yeah. Whole bunch of shit. Rookie. The other thing that we do when we have multiple rods out is put like a planer board out, and I'll kind of show you that here. Cameraman, show you how this works. This rod's got 2 colors of lead core out, so we're getting down like 10 feet maybe. And what I do is I let all the lead core out. You can see it starts right here where my braided line is. So lead core, let that all the way out till it touches the water. And then we clip the board on, and this is an offshore side planer board. It's the, I don't know if there's a number on there. Nope. But you can get the tattletale flag for it, which is what I did. And you're going to want to set it pretty light for in Maine because we don't get a ton of big fish up here, unfortunately. And a lot of times what you're hoping is going to happen is the fish is going to take it and that flag is going to go down. But if you're going for like brook trout and stuff, it's probably not going to pull the flag down. It's just going to pull the planer board to the center of the boat, and you'll know that there's a fish on. So all you got to do is put your braided line through there, clip it on there. There's a little pin, put it behind the pin. Give it a little bit of slack. Clip it on the first clip. A little bit of slack so the flag can go. And then you just toss her out. Just like that. Let some line out. Then the old board will go out to the side. Pulls your line away from everything else. No tangles. I'm not guaranteeing there's no tangles because we had a tangle already, but when you get a fish on, it's kind of a cluster. It's organized chaos. But. And when you do get a fish on, pulls that board, you just snap it. It releases that first clip, and then you're just fighting the board. Yeah, fighting the fish. The board comes in, you unclip it, and then you're just fighting the fish. That's how it works. Now the other thing you guys may have noticed with these set of pliers here hooked on this plate, I like to leave 2 sets of pliers in the boat because sometimes, you know, you lose one up in the front or kick it underneath a storage area and it's just not there and you're scrambling around for some pliers. So these ones are permanently hooked to this plate here. And this was actually off of my kayak when I took everything off and put it on my boat. This is a T-Rain, basically like a zinger, and it's just got a retractable cable in it, and it'll retract pretty far. You can stand up here in the boat, pull these way back, and they come right back so you know where they are every single time. This was awesome in the kayak. I had a couple of these and hooked my pliers and my fish grips on these just so I'd never lose them. Highly recommend getting one of those even for your boat. This is pretty much a kayak product, but it's really awesome to have in the boat too. Like I said, we have 2 sets of pliers, so one's here and one lives up here. So there's always a set kicking around. Alright guys, thanks for watching. That was just a quick overview of how we set our boat up for trolling. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Thanks for watching. Let's catch you next time. Yes, dude, that's a nice one.
Nice brand.
Woo!
It came right out.
Alright, let's get him out of here.
Relaxed and calm.
Here he goes. Sweet.